Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, we successfully insert some of the data in our musicians table, right? So now if you want to check it in Django, by default they have one of the building admin panel. So from to this admin panel, you can read all that your data, and also if you want to delete it, if you want to edit it, you can edit everything from here. So if you want to access this admin panel, first of all you have to do, right now we don't need this, I just close it. If you want to find out this admin panel, you have to go to your application. That means our first application I have created. Into this first application, they have the admins. Okay, so now open it. So now you can see by default one of the library as an admin on here. So first of all we have to import our two of this model. That the model I have already created in our first application area. So I have already created two of this model as our musician and the album. First of all we have to import two of this. So here in particular that area I want to import it. So I just simply define as a form, and from our application name, our application name is the fast app. So I just simply define as a fast, FRIST underscore app, fast app, and into this fast app I have defined our two of this model in our models area, right? So into this models we have to defining it. So I just simply define as a fast app and the models. Okay, and then from here I want to import it. So from here I want to import our two of these tables. So our two of this class I have defined as a musician and the album, right? So now I just simply define two of this as a musician, and also I have defined as an album. So I just simply define two of this on here, and after that we have to register two of this model. So here I have already import two of this model as a musician and the album. So after that we have to register it. You can see they have also some of the note as a register your models here. So here I want to register it. So that is in our admins. So with this admins library I want to define one of the site. So our site as a register. I want to register our model. So our model name as a musician. And also I want to add another one as an admin at the site and the register, and register our another table. So our another table is album. So I just simply define as an album. Okay friends, so here first of all you have to import it. So here I just simply define import it from our application, our fast application, that is our models, and into these models I have already created two of these. So that is our musician and the album. So I just simply import two of these, and then I just register it. So I just register our musician, and also I registered our album. So now for access all the data we have to create one of the super admin. Okay, so if you want to create some of the super admin, you have to open your terminal. So I just open our terminal. So that is our first project. So in particular that position, if you want to create one of the super admin, you have to write one of the commands. So here you have to write as a Python, and into the Python dot then the manage.py, and then you have to define as a create super user. So I just simply define as a create super user. So I just simply define as a Python manage.py and the create and the super user, and now click as a enter. So now you can see by default it's putting that username. So by default my PC name as a Amjad. So for the reasons it's now showing as a username as a Amjad. So if you want to change that username you can change it, but right now it's okay with me. So better I want to copy it, okay, because it will be needed. So I just simply paste it on here. That will be our username. So it's now okay with me. So now I want to click as a enter, and after that it's putting your email address. So right now I want to define our one of the email address as a aryan@gmail.com. So this type of one of the email address I have defined as a aryan@gmail.com. Now click as the enter, and now it's asking for your password. So right now I want to use our password as Udemy 12345. Okay. So better I want to save it like as a aryan@gmail.com, and password will be Udemy 12345. Okay, so I just simply defining it. Now click as a enter. Now you can see it's now showing you pre-type your password again. So I just simply define as again Udemy 12345. Click as a enter. So now you can see it's now showing as a super user created successfully. So now if you want to access this admin, when you install that our Django in our project into the first project area, they have also one of the URL. So now if you open that URL here, you can see by default they have one of the path. So that is the path as a /admin. Okay, so that is the path is by default. So now it should be very much clear to you. So they have by default one of the paths, so our path name as a admin URL. So now first of all I want to run our server. So here if you want to run it, I think you already know about it as a Python, right? Python manage.py and then run server. So I just simply define as a Python and the manage.py and the run server. So now if click as a enter, so our server will be started. So now you can see our server is now started. So now I just simply copy it. Now go to our browser. Here I open it, click as a paste to go. So that is our page. So after that, there is actually our URL. So our URL will be /admin. So I just simply define, I just refresh it again. After that, I just simply define as a admin, click as a enter. Now you can see it's by default redirected to one of the admin panel. So that is our username and the password. So I have already saved our all the information. So I have already defined our username will be as a Amjad. So I just simply define that username as a Amjad, and also the password I have defined. So I define that password as a Udemy12345. So I just simply defining it, click as a login. Yes, now you can see friend, now we can actually access our admin panel. So that is one of the building admin panel for the Django. So from here you can see that I have already created one of the application. Our application name is visible as a fast app, and with this application I have defined that two of this table, one is albums and also there is a musician. So if you go to that musician, into this musician, here you can see I have inserted two of this data, that is our Jack Ma and there is a Kazi Aryan. Perfect. So from here, if you want to add new musician, you can add new musician from to this position. If you want to delete it, you can delete it from to this area. And also it's showing our edit option. Okay, if you want to change it, if you want to save it, automatically it should be updated. So everything is ready-made. How much easy it is and how much interactive that framework. For the reasons Django is really so much popular right now. I hope you can well understand about it. So right now we successfully access our admin. So from to this position, if you want to create new user, you can create new user. So right now I have already one of the user name as a Amjad. I just put that email address and also there is a password, right? So if you want to create new user, then you can create new user from to this position. So right now it's okay with me. And also I have created another table, that is our albums table. Into this albums table, if you go to that add albums, right now for albums table I didn't insert any data. And also here you can see I defined the primary key. So here a primary key, our with this ID is automatically getting all that our artist data. So automatically it's now loaded. Then there is a name field, the release date. As for the release date, I have defined the date format. Now it should be very much clear to you. Like here if you go to that our models, into this models, here you can see I have defined that our models as the another one that's class as a album. For this one I have defined that artist, and here I defined that foreign key with our musician. So for the reasons it's now getting our all that artist. You can see it's now getting all that artist, and then I just define another field name as a name, the release date I just define as a, our type will be as a date field type, and the number of stars. So everything is now perfectly on here. Okay friend, so step by step we will do a lot of work in particular that position. So don't worry, everything will be very much clear to you. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.